Right now, 30 feet above the desert floor, a single AH-64 is racing past radar sites that would shred any other rotorcraft. Can you imagine that? If the crew pops up even 1 second too late, a wall of anti-aircraft fire turns them into scrap metal. It's not just a mission, it's a high-stakes gamble. Tonight they have one job and one job only. Slip 50 kilometers past the line, delete 12 enemy tanks, and get back before anyone even knows they were there. Talk about a silent, deadly entrance and exit. Intro. That opening scene isn't some Hollywood blockbuster trailer, is it? Nope. It's a distilled, gut-wrenching version of what Apache pilots actually train for. Day in and day out, they live for these moments, for the razor-thin margins between success and catastrophic failure. In the next few minutes, you're going to ride shotgun on a raid that happened just last year in Eastern Europe. You'll hear how the crew, against all odds, stayed alive, and you'll see precisely why the Apache, this incredible machine, is still affectionately and accurately called the flying tank. There's no fluff here, no filler, just the hard-hitting facts straight from the people who've been there, done that, and lived to tell the tale. We're talking about the raw truth of modern aerial combat, Section 1. The mission brief was short, sharp and to the point: 2 helicopters. Call signs Shadow 1 and Shadow 2 would launch at 0200. Their objective: contour fly below 200 feet, which is barely above the treetops, then split a mechanized battalion in half and somehow be home for breakfast. Sounds simple, right? It was anything but. The enemy wasn't just armed. They were dug in. They had the formidable T-72s, those Cold War beasts, radar-guided ZSU-23s, which are basically mobile flak cannons and, perhaps most dangerous of all, a reputation for shooting first and asking questions never. This wasn't a training exercise. This was a dance with death. Apache crews, let me tell you, they don't gamble on luck. That's for amateurs. They gamble on physics, on meticulous planning, and on homework, serious homework. Every single sand dune, every power line, every tiny culvert, even the smallest drainage ditch, it had all been painstakingly mapped into the aircraft's database. We're talking about a level of detail that would make a cartographer blush. The route wasn't chosen by chance. It was selected with surgical precision. The goal? To ensure the only radar that could possibly track them would be looking straight through a mountain range, essentially rendering it blind. It's like trying to see through a brick wall, but with radio waves. The flight path also strategically crossed 3 riverbeds. Why riverbeds? Because these aren't just natural waterways. They're natural gutters, perfect for masking infrared signatures. When you're flying that low, heat is a beacon, and these natural features help hide that thermal footprint. Pilots have a name for this ingenious tactic. They call it the Apache subway. And once you drop into it, the only thing above you is a ribbon of stars, and if you're lucky, the occasional curious owl wondering what in the world just whizzed past its perch. It's a surreal experience, a blend of cutting-edge technology and ancient terrain, all orchestrated to achieve battlefield dominance under the cloak of darkness. Section 2. Before those massive rotors even begin to turn, before the twin turbo shafts roar to life, the pilot and the co-pilot gunner engage in a ritual. It's a quiet, almost sacred tradition, one that has quite literally saved more lives than all the Kevlar in the world. They each reach out and touch 3 critical pieces of their war machine: the menacing 30mm chain gun, the sleek, deadly Hellfire missile rack, and finally the collective stick, the control that gives them lift. 3 taps, 3 powerful silent reminders: bullets, missiles, lift. It's a physical manifestation of their readiness, a final mental check before they commit to the mission. It's a moment of connection, a silent vow between man and machine. Now let's talk power. The AH-64E, fully loaded, is a beast. It weighs in at a staggering 16 tons, yet somehow it accelerates off the ground like a sports car. How? That's thanks to its twin T700 GE701D turboshafts. Each one of those engines isn't just powerful, it's a brute, spitting out an incredible 2,000 shaft horsepower. Think about that for a second. That's enough raw power to make this flying fortress dance in the sky. And here's where the true genius of its engineering shines: redundancy. If, God forbid, one engine decides to quit on them mid-flight, the remaining engine isn't just a backup. It's a lifesaver. It can still haul the entire aircraft with its full complement of weapons and crew, all the way home at a respectable 140 knots. That kind of reliability, that unwavering assurance, is why Apache crews will trade almost anything, altitude, precious fuel, their last snack, maybe even their lucky gum, but they will never, ever trade an engine. That's non-negotiable. It's the difference between making it back and becoming another statistic. Inside that cramped utilitarian cockpit, it's a symphony of technology. The pilot's helmet alone, that seemingly simple piece of headgear, costs more than most luxury sports sedans. This isn't just a helmet. It's the Integrated Helmet and Display Sighting System, or IHADSS for short. It's a marvel of engineering that literally tracks where the aviator's eyes look. And here's the kicker. It slaves the 30mm chain gun, the aircraft's primary close-in weapon, to their gaze in an astonishing 1.2 seconds. It's like something out of a sci-fi movie. You look, you aim, you fire. But it demands incredible precision. Move your head too fast, too erratically, and the digital symbology that guides your aim lags behind. A disorienting mess. But move it smooth, with practiced grace, and that 30mm cannon follows your every intention like a loyal, incredibly deadly dog. A single trigger pull isn't just a single shot. It's a burst, unloading 10 rounds of high-explosive dual-purpose ammo. 10 rounds? That's enough kinetic energy and explosive force to split a BTR armored personnel carrier wide open, like it was nothing more than wet cardboard. It's a terrifyingly efficient, brutally effective system, putting the pilot directly in control of immense destructive power. If these details feel like you're trying to drink from a fire hose, trust me, you're not alone. This machine is complex. But if you're enjoying it, do me a favor. Hit that like button. It helps the algorithm show this deep dive to other military nerds, people who appreciate the incredible engineering and courage involved. And hey, if you stick around until the very end, I promise you'll learn why these incredible Apaches sometimes fly with only one skid barely touching the ground. It's a wild trick and you won't want to miss it. Section 3. All right, back to the raid. The clock ticked past Aero 237 when the two ships, Shadow 1 and Shadow 2, hit their first waypoint. It was a tree line that, on satellite imagery, had looked like a solid, impenetrable barrier. But as they approached contour flying at just 120 feet, they discovered a crucial detail. It was actually a row of burned trunks, relics from last summer's wildfire. That gap, that unexpected opening, was their golden ticket. It allowed them to slip through, maintaining their blistering 120 knots, a perfect, undetected entry. Perched atop the rotor mast, like a crown, was the longbow radar. This isn't just any radar, it's a marvel of millimeter wave technology. It swept a full 360 degrees every 6 seconds, a constant, omniscient eye in the sky. And it didn't disappoint. Within moments, it found them. 4 enemy tanks, cleverly hidden under camo netting, trying their best to disappear into the landscape. The longbow didn't just see them, it tagged each one with a unique identifier. Tango 01 through Tango 04. The real beauty of millimeter wave radar, what makes it so revolutionary, is that it simply doesn't care about environmental conditions. It doesn't care if the moon is out, if the night is pitch black, or if someone remembered to turn on the porch light. Rain, dust, heavy smoke, none of it matters. The radar return of a tank's turret, with its distinctive shape and size, is a precise 5 meters wide. The Apache's sophisticated software knows this. It looks for that exact curvature, that unique signature, plus the telltale heat plume of an idling diesel engine. It's like having X-ray vision that can cut through any disguise. This advanced system gives the Apache a fire-and-forget missile capability, meaning once a target is designated, the missile can guide itself, freeing the helicopter to engage other threats or reposition. It can even engage multiple targets simultaneously, often beyond the pilot's direct line of sight, making it incredibly deadly and efficient. With targets identified, Shadow 2 broke left, peeling away to set up what pilots call a classic hammer and anvil shot. It's an old tactic, but devastatingly effective in the air. One aircraft, the hammer, lobs missiles high, forcing the targets to pop smoke, scatter, and move, exposing themselves. The other, the anvil, stays low, hidden, waiting to kill whatever tries to run. It's aerial chess, a deadly game of cat and mouse, played out at a blistering pace just 150 feet above the ground. The coordination required, the trust between the two crews is absolute. Every move is calculated, every second counts. Section 4. The crews selected their weapon of choice, AGM-114R Hellfires. These aren't your grandpa's missiles. They're the latest variant, a true piece of modern engineering. They fuse a tandem-shaped charge, designed to punch through reactive armor with a blast frag sleeve, ensuring maximum damage once inside the target. The range? A staggering 11 kilometers. From the moment they ripple fire to impact, the time of flight is a tense 37 seconds. And the cost? A cool $115,000 per shot. Let that sink in. One missile, over $100,000. So, you can bet your bottom dollar the backseater double-checked the grid coordinates not once but twice. When each shot costs that much, you literally cannot afford a typo. There's no room for error, no second chances. The stakes are just too high. Then came the call. Missiles away. The desert night was briefly illuminated by the fiery streaks. The first T-72, caught completely by surprise, brewed up instantly. It wasn't just an explosion. It was a violent, catastrophic detonation. Secondary explosions hurled the tank commander's cupola, a heavy piece of steel, over 200 meters into the darkness. The second T-72 tried to sprint, a desperate dash for cover, but tragically it tracked itself right into a drainage ditch, bogging down. The missile, however, was relentless. Its seeker, designed for adaptability, switched seamlessly to infrared guidance once the radar lock was broken, finding the vulnerable turret ring with chilling precision. Two more tanks met the same fiery fate, one after the other. In less than 90 seconds, a full company of enemy armor, half its strength, was obliterated. They didn't even get a chance to fire a single main gun round in anger. It was a surgical, brutal demonstration of air power. Ground forces listening in on the radio net described the sound of the hellfires hitting their targets as someone tearing the sky in half. It's a visceral, terrifying description. Apache crews, with their characteristic dark humor, have their own name for that noise. They call it the Angel of Death doing warm-up scales. It's a sound that signifies the end for the enemy, and for the ground troops, the sound of salvation. Section 5. But here's the twist. The real threat, the one that kept the crews on edge, was never those lumbering tanks. It was the mobile anti-aircraft gun, the sneaky one hidden in a barn, patiently waiting for its moment. And at 03:12, that moment arrived. A ZSU-23-4 Shilka, a self-propelled anti-aircraft weapon, rolled out from its concealed position, its radar dish spinning furiously, painting the night with its lethal search. Then it fired. A 3-second burst. Over 623mm rounds, each one a miniature cannon shell, carved angry, glowing tracers through the darkness, aimed squarely at the Apaches. Instantly, the Apaches' defensive systems kicked in, a symphony of survival. Chaff. Tiny reflective strips blossomed into the air, confusing the radar. Flares, brilliant and hot, erupted, drawing away any heat-seeking missiles. And in the cockpit, the APR-39 radar warning receiver, the aircraft's voice of doom, screamed. Its urgent, terrifying warning. Samlock 3 o'clock. There was no time to think, only to react. The pilot, a blur of motion, yanked the cyclic stick, pulling hard, trading precious fuel for a sudden, desperate surge in altitude. Then, just as quickly, they chopped the throttle, pushing the stick forward, and dove. Negative Gs. It's a disorienting, gut-wrenching sensation where your helmet, heavy with all its tech, tries to float right off your head. Every checklist you've ever memorized, every procedure drilled into your brain, feels like it's falling out of your ears. It's pure, instinctual survival. Meanwhile, the backseater, equally calm under pressure, slewed the targeting pod onto the barn, painting it with a laser. Without hesitation, they ripple-fired 2 more hellfires. The Shilka, that mobile menace, vanished, not just destroyed, but utterly consumed, inside a blinding fireball that was so intense, so violent, it showed up on a weather satellite as a momentary, ghostly white pixel. The threat was neutralized. And slowly, agonizingly, crew breathing resumed. The adrenaline began its long, slow ebb. Section 6. Apaches, you see, don't fly in straight lines after a shot. That's for targets. They break, they jink, they maneuver aggressively, using the terrain as their ally. They hide behind hillsides, using every undulation, every fold in the earth for concealment. This particular crew, after their intense engagement, chose a ravine. It was a foul-smelling place, likely full of stagnant water and old diesel, but it offered cover. The radar altimeter, their lifeline to the ground, read a terrifyingly low 27 feet. Tree branches, unseen in the darkness, slapped against the skids, a constant jarring reminder of how close they were to the earth. It's flying by the seat of your pants, but with millions of dollars of technology backing you up. While they were playing hide-and-seek with the landscape, the ground commander, whose forces were now safe to advance, radioed in. His mechanized platoon, which moments ago faced certain annihilation, could now move forward without being turned into pâté. And that, right there, is the essence of an Apache mission. It's never about body counts, not really, it's about doors. It's about opening possibilities for friendly forces and slamming them shut for the enemy. Tonight, the door labeled "Surprise Armor Ambush" got slammed shut with extreme prejudice. Section 7, but the mission wasn't over. Returning home was its own harrowing challenge, requiring them to thread the needle between two active SA-6 surface-to-air missile sites. Fuel was critically low, down to a mere 800 pounds. That's roughly 20 minutes of loiter time, barely enough to get them home. Every mile back meant a calculated climb of 200 feet to clear the omnipresent power lines that crisscross the landscape. The pilot, ever the pragmatist, asked the backseater for a grim calculation. Could they make it home on one engine if the other ate a bullet? The answer came back quickly. Yes, but only if they jettisoned the remaining rocket pods. Those pods, packed with Hydra 70 rockets, cost more than a brand new Ferrari. Yet the decision took all of 3 seconds. Lives first, balance sheets later. It's a testament to the priorities in combat. They landed back at base with a mere 180 pounds of gas left. To put that in perspective, that's about as much fuel as a teacup in a swimming pool. It was a hair-raising arrival, a testament to their skill and the Apache's resilience. The crew chief, always the first face they see, met them with a flashlight and a weary but triumphant thumbs up. Maintenance would need 2 days, maybe more, to patch the holes in the stabilator, the horizontal tail fin. But the aircraft would fly again. It always does. CTA. So, if you were paying close attention, drop a comment with the word shadow and tell me if you caught how many missiles were fired total. I'm curious if you were counting. And if you want to see what a ramp strike looks like through the pilot's visor, trust me, it's intense, then be sure to subscribe. You won't regret it. Section 8. Let's zoom out for a moment, shall we? The Apache isn't just a new kid on the block. It's a seasoned veteran. This helicopter has fought in every major conflict since Panama in 1989. Think about that longevity, that consistent presence on the battlefield. It has, quite literally, killed more tanks than every other Western helicopter combined. We're talking over 800 confirmed kills. That's not just a statistic. It's a legacy. Part of that unparalleled record absolutely is raw, cutting-edge technology, but an equally significant part, perhaps even more so, is the unique culture of the Apache pilot. It's a culture forged in the crucible of intense, uncompromising training. That training, the making of an Apache pilot, starts at Fort Novosel, Alabama. It's not a gentle introduction. It's a trial by fire. Instructors, seasoned veterans themselves, hide in the woods using infrared strobes to simulate enemy targets. Students, often barely out of flight school, must find them at night in complete darkness, hover for a precise 30 seconds, and then, here's the kicker, leave without ever hovering again. Fail more than once and you wash out. No second chances. Graduates, those who make it through, often joke that it's like getting a PhD and rubbing your stomach while juggling chainsaws. You're constantly processing a dizzying array of information, making split-second decisions, all while keeping a multi-ton war machine balanced on a knife edge. You're managing weapon systems, navigating complex terrain, communicating with ground forces, and simultaneously monitoring your own aircraft's health. It demands a level of cognitive load and physical dexterity that few other professions can match. This rigorous training isn't just about flying. It's about instilling an aggressive mindset, a relentless pursuit of the enemy, and an unbreakable bond with their machine, all while ensuring they can operate under unimaginable pressure. It's about turning pilots into extensions of the Apache itself, ready for anything the battlefield can throw at them. Section 9. Now, Let's talk about something incredibly important for any combat aircraft. Armor. And with the Apache, armor matters a lot. The fuselage itself carries a staggering 2,500 pounds of protection. Think about that weight. Dedicated solely to keeping the crew safe. We're talking about Kevlar blankets strategically placed around the cockpit. Ballistic foam expertly injected into the fuel tanks to prevent catastrophic fires. And a formidable boron carbide plate directly under the pilot's seat. This isn't just any plate. It's rated to stop 12.7-meter rounds heavy machine gun fire. Yet, with a touch of gallows humor, crews often joke that the helicopter isn't exactly bulletproof. It's just bullet resentful. It'll take a hit, sure, but it's going to make the enemy pay for it. This isn't just about passive protection. It's about survivability, about giving the crew the confidence to push the envelope. And then there are the rotor blades. These aren't flimsy pieces of metal. They are engineering marvels built to take 23mm hits, those same rounds the Shilka was spitting, and somehow stay intact. How each blade isn't a solid piece. It has 5 separate spars. Internal structural elements designed to absorb damage independently. You could literally saw one halfway through with a demo charge, and guess what? That blade, that incredibly resilient piece of composite and metal, will still get you home. It's an almost unbelievable feat of design. Apache pilots, with their deep, almost familial connection to their aircraft, treat these blades like jealous siblings. You can insult them all day, crack jokes about their quirks, but God forbid you touch one without permission. Do that and you'll be buying the beer for everyone forever. It's a sign of profound respect for the components that literally keep them in the air and bring them back alive. This robust construction, combined with redundant systems, is a key reason the Apache boasts such an impressive combat survivability record. It's built to take a beating and keep on fighting. Section 10. As formidable as the Apache is, it's not static. Its avionics, its electronic brain and nervous system, continue to evolve at a breathtaking pace. The Echo model, the AH-64E, introduced a game-changer, Link 16. This isn't just a fancy radio. It's a secure, high-speed data link that allows the helicopter to talk, truly talk, to a vast network of other assets. We're talking about F-35 fighter jets screaming through the stratosphere, Aegis cruisers patrolling the seas, and even satellites orbiting hundreds of miles above the Earth. It's a seamless web of information. A digital nervous system for the modern battlefield. Imagine this. An Apache pilot can now identify a target, not just for themselves, but for a Navy destroyer hundreds of miles away. They can then hand off that target data, instantly and flawlessly, to the destroyer. The pilot can then watch in real time as a powerful SM-6 missile screams off the destroyer's deck, flies 150 nautical miles across the ocean, and scores a kill, all without the Apache ever firing a single shot. That, my friends, is the very definition of teamwork, only with significantly more rockets and advanced weaponry involved. It's a force multiplier on an unprecedented scale, transforming individual platforms into an integrated, unstoppable fighting machine. The AH-64E Echo variant pushes this even further with upgraded engines, improving its hot and high performance and fuel efficiency, along with a more robust transmission. It also features an enhanced radar with a specific maritime targeting mode, allowing it to engage sea-based threats, and crucially, it allows for the control of unmanned aerial systems, UAS, directly from the cockpit. This means an Apache crew can scout ahead with a drone, using its sensors before committing their own aircraft, significantly reducing risk and expanding their situational awareness. This networked capability isn't just an upgrade. It's a revolution in how air and sea assets coordinate and dominate the battle space. Section 11. But all this incredible technology, all this raw power means nothing without the unsung heroes, the maintenance crews. They are the ones who keep the beast alive. The dedicated professionals who ensure every rivet, every wire, every hydraulic line is in perfect working order. Their work is relentless, precise, and absolutely critical. Every 125 flight hours, for example, the tail boom, that long, slender section connecting the fuselage to the tail rotor, comes off for a meticulous inspection. It's not a quick look. It's a deep dive into the helicopter's structural integrity, and every 250 hours the engines, those mighty T-700s, are pulled, thoroughly checked, and then reinstalled. This isn't an all-day affair either. These highly trained crews can accomplish this complex task in less than 4 hours, treating their torque wrenches like holy relics, ensuring every bolt is tightened to the exact specification. It's a ballet of precision and efficiency. To support these incredible machines in the field, a typical Apache battalion deploys with a staggering 2.2 million pounds of spare parts. Think about that for a moment. That's enough metal, enough components, to literally build a small destroyer. It speaks volumes about the complexity of the aircraft and the logistical infrastructure required to keep them operational in the most demanding environments. From hydraulic lines to avionic modules, from rotor blades to engine components, every possible contingency is accounted for. This logistical backbone is just as vital as the pilot's skill or the missile's precision. Without it, the Apache would simply be a very expensive static display. It's a testament to the fact that combat readiness is a team sport, involving thousands of dedicated individuals behind the scenes, ensuring that when the call comes, the Apaches are ready to answer. Section 12. Now let's talk numbers, specifically the cost. What's the cost per flight hour for one of these magnificent machines? A cool $5,800. That sounds enormous, doesn't it? It's a significant investment, no doubt. But here's where perspective kicks in. That enormous figure starts to shrink dramatically when you divide it by the price of one averted tank company. Consider this. A T-72 tank, even a refurbished one, sells for roughly $1 million. So if an Apache sortie takes out, say, 4 of those tanks, you've already more than paid for the entire flight. You've neutralized millions of dollars of enemy assets, saved countless friendly lives, and prevented potentially devastating ground engagements. Generals, those who understand the strategic and economic implications of modern warfare, have a phrase for this kind of efficiency. They call it fiscal poetry. It's a beautiful, brutal equation where the cost of projection pales in comparison to the value of protection and decisive victory. The Apache isn't just a weapon. It's a strategic investment that delivers an exponential return on security. Section 13. The Apache's journey isn't over. It's a living, evolving platform. Future upgrades are already well underway, ensuring it remains at the forefront of aerial combat. The Army, ever pushing the boundaries, wants a new turbine engine that burns 8% less fuel, extending range and loiter time, giving pilots even more flexibility on extended missions. They're also looking at composite rotor blades, designed to add an incredible 2,000 hours of life to each blade, reducing maintenance and increasing operational readiness. And, perhaps most fascinating, is the development of an AI assistant. This isn't just a fancy computer program. It's a sophisticated system designed to suggest optimal missile choices in less than 200 milliseconds. Imagine the cognitive load that takes off a pilot in a high-stress, rapidly evolving combat situation. Pilots, with their characteristic wit, joke that the day the AI becomes faster and more accurate than the backseater is the day they'll start saluting Silicon Valley. It's a humorous nod to the relentless march of technology and the ever-closer integration of artificial intelligence into the cockpit, promising to make the Apache even more lethal and efficient in the conflicts of tomorrow. Section 14. But for all the incredible tech, for all the raw power and cutting-edge avionics, technology is only half the story. Ask any Apache crew, any pilot or co-pilot gunner, why they truly love this machine, and they'll almost invariably mention the sound. It's not just a noise. It's a heavy, syncopated whomp-whomp-whomp that makes your chest vibrate, rattles your bones, and resonates deep within your soul. It's an unmistakable auditory signature. Kids in Afghanistan who grew up under its shadow have their own evocative name for it: the Rain of Iron Chickens. Infantry soldiers, hunkered down and under fire, know it as the angel on call, the sound of salvation arriving. But the pilots, those who strap themselves into its cockpit and wrestle it through the night sky, they just call it home. It's the sound of purpose, of protection, of power. It's the sound of their sanctuary, their office, their battlefield, all rolled into one. That deep, resonant thrum isn't just noise. It's the heartbeat of the Apache, a sound that inspires fear in its enemies and unwavering confidence in those it protects. It's the intangible essence of what makes this helicopter more than just a machine, but a legend. Section 15. Tonight's raid, like so many others, ended with a clear, unequivocal victory. 0 friendly casualties. 8 enemy tanks roasted, turned into smoking hulks. 1 Shilka, that mobile anti-aircraft menace, converted into confetti, its threat utterly annihilated. And a ground force that, thanks to the Apache's decisive action, advanced a full 17 kilometers before sunrise, achieving their objectives with minimal resistance. The official after-action report, the dry, factual account, spans 5 pages of meticulous detail. But the unofficial one, the one that truly captures the spirit of the mission, is a single, defiant line scrawled on the ready room whiteboard, a testament to their unwavering success. Shadow flight, still undefeated. It's a badge of honor, a quiet declaration of mastery over the chaos of combat, reflecting the consistent performance and reliability of these incredible crews and their machines. Conclusion. Flying the tank-busting Apache behind enemy lines is, without a doubt, equal parts engineering genius, sheer human nerve, and the kind of practiced teamwork that only comes from years of relentless training and unwavering trust. Every single rivet, every line of code that runs through its complex systems, every pre-dawn mission brief, every agonizing minute spent planning and rehearsing, it all distills down to one singular, critical moment, pressing that trigger and knowing, with absolute certainty, that the battlefield just changed. It's a moment of profound impact, a testament to the power concentrated in the hands of a few highly skilled individuals. The pilots who do this for real, who face these dangers night after night, they don't see themselves as heroes. Not really. They see themselves as professionals. Professionals who are deeply committed to their mission, to their wingmen, and to the ground forces they protect. They are the ones who steadfastly refuse to let the other guy shoot first, who always seek to gain the decisive advantage, to dictate the terms of engagement. They embody a relentless spirit, a determination to protect, and a willingness to confront danger head-on. So, if you remember one thing from this deep dive into the world of the Apache, let it be this. When the sky starts to whomp-whomp in the dark, that heavy syncopated beat, and you feel the ground tremble beneath your feet, vibrating with raw power, understand this crucial truth. The cavalry isn't coming. It's already overhead. It's already there. A silent, deadly guardian, a force of nature looking for its next target. It's the sound of ultimate deterrence, the sound of superior firepower, and the sound of unwavering protection. It's the Apache, and it's always on watch, ready to unleash its fury and defend those who need it most. It's a symbol of American air power, a testament to human ingenuity and courage continuing to evolve and dominate the skies, ensuring that the fight is always brought to the enemy, on our terms. The legacy of the flying tank continues, written in the night sky, one mission at a time.